I gotta ask you something. This is kind of maybe possible ME. I have not. I've asked like at least 5 people so far, and they've all told me the same thing. But I can't tell you until you tell me first. New possible ME. Okay, you remember Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory?
Of course.
Okay, on the glass elevator with Mr. Willy Wonka. Wonka has his hand on his shoulder, and he says, "Do you ever hear about the blank who got everything he ever wanted, and he lived happily ever after?" Fill in the blank.
I've seen Willy Wonka, and so has my son, a million times, and now I can't remember that line.
He says, "Did you ever hear about the blank who got everything he ever wanted, and he lived happily ever after?" Oh my God! Everybody's saying the boy.
The boy.
If you listen to it now, I'll play the clip for you guys. It sounds so messed up. It sounds. He says, "Did you ever hear about the man?" Well, it says, "Here, I'll let you listen." Okay,
but it would have to be the boy because they took Veruca Salt and all the other kids to the factory. Why would it?
It's man now. I've asked 7 people now, and they've all said boy. Here, let me play it.
Makes sense.
Okay, ready?
Don't forget what happened to the man who suddenly got everything he always wanted.
What happened?
He lived happily ever after. Don't forget what happened to the man who suddenly got everything he always wanted.
What happened?
He lived happily ever after.
It was always the boy.
It's so weird how the Mandela effect works. He says, "Don't forget about the man." I don't remember "don't forget." I remember, "Did you ever hear about the boy who got it wanted?"
Yeah, and why do he say man with these
when he's boy? Right, when he's with kids.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't even make sense.
And there's all this residue here. To quote Willy Wonka, Cynthia Viejo says, "Did you ever hear the story about the little boy who got everything he ever wanted? He lived happily ever after." All this residue about the boy got everything he ever wanted. Some of these are kind of like raunchy, but you get what I'm saying.
Wow.
Theresa found this for us. Thanks, Theresa. She found this right here. You know what happened to the little boy who got everything he ever wanted?
I actually sent you 2 things.
I didn't get the other one. I can look at it in a second. Let me pull that up.
That's really good, Theresa.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's what I do. I hunt residue every day.
Residue hunter.
That's what I am. Yep.
Good job.
Thank you. It's kind of like being a detective. You know, you're like an ex-cop. You know, you had to kind of like figure things out.
And you have
same
to
idea, but I'm like a residue hunter cop.
There you go. That's a good title. Very good.
Thank you.
Right here. I can't believe Theresa found this. This is crazy.
Yeah,
there is a line at the end of Willy Wonka. This is, I guess, this is a Google book. Is that right, Theresa?
Yes.
There's a line at the end of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory where Gene Wilder, something about Charlie and Jack Albertson over the city in the glass elevator, and Willy says, "You know what happened to the little boy who suddenly got everything he ever wanted, don't you, Charlie?"
Mm.
"No, what?" And Willy says, "He lived happily ever after." That's like the most iconic line. For me, that's the most iconic line. A lot of people seem to remember the other line, something about the snowberries. But anyway, so that's my Mandela effect tonight. To me, that's a Mandela. That was one of the most prized lines in the film. I'm sorry. Go ahead, guys. I didn't mean to cut in.
No, that's a really good one, though. That's a new one. That's
right. He just said brand new.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
We don't know it's an ME until we actually confirm it with other people. See, I never gave in. I didn't give you the answer, right? You answered it with what you remember.
Right. Right. And you know what? Even if he didn't remember it, it doesn't make sense for him to say a man. If it
wouldn't, right? It wouldn't say a man.
Right.
Well, that's why anytime I see something that I remembered one way and it's different now, I call Gloria right away and I say, "Wait a minute, do you remember it this way? Do you remember it that way?"
What do you remember at the end of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, where Willy Wonka is in the elevator, the glass elevator, with Charlie?
and he shoots up, and he said, there's a button I've never pushed before.
Right.
But go ahead and push it, Charlie. And he pushes it, and the Wonkavator shoots up through a skylight and up into the sky.
Right, and when they're up in the sky, Willy Wonka says his famous line. He says, did you ever hear about the blank?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. You remember Boy also?
We have bad feedback, Boy.
Yeah, of course.
He says man. He says man now.
It was Boy.
Oh, my God. That's crazy. See? I'm shook.
Things are changing so fast right this minute.
I got what I deserved, you know it.